What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. If you are a repeat viewer, you've been following us and have been subscribed and like our stuff, thank you very much. If you're new here, man, we got some good stuff for you. So thank you for watching if you're new here. And if you are continuously following our journey, don't forget to like and subscribe, please. It makes a big difference for us. It helps motivate us, keep doing what we're doing, and bring you guys quality content. Anyhow, okay, so this episode, are you thinking about getting into dog breeding, right? So I did part one, which is the full breakdown mathematical with a female, starting with a puppy and with an adult. A lot of you guys really like that episode. And this series is a continuous multi-part series of the different aspects and things that we deal with in the breeding lane, right? So this is going to be part two, right? I'm going to name this one Knowing Your Identity in the Space. So before we get into it, let me just recap part one for you guys that are new. Part one was the cost of admission, right? You go to the theater, what does it cost to watch a movie? What does the popcorn cost? You know, parking, all these things, right? To get into this industry and into this game, they call it the dog game, there is a cost of admission, right? So in the last episode, we went over that. And also, not only the cost of admission, but the holding cost, right? Which is the time of stagnation monetarily before you can get a return. So if you have not done so, that last episode was a firecracker. It was a good one. A lot of you guys hit me up on the side. Thank you so much. You know, I'm here to help again, and a lot of you guys that I talked to, it just give me such awesome feedback, and it helps motivate me to keep doing what I'm doing and shed light in the industry and encourage those who want to get into it, but correctly, right? We want to not bamboozle anyone or fleece anyone or sell somebody a bill of goods that is not the truth, right? So I'm all about that and keeping it transparent, keeping it solid, so that when you communicate with me, you know exactly what it is. So anyhow, let's get into this next episode. This is, are you thinking about getting to dog breeding part two, knowing your identity in the space, right? So, what does that even mean, to be honest? Well, like I said, there are many different lanes, right? For us, it's the XLs. For you, I mean, you could have schnoodles, poodles, doodles, golden doodles, whatever the case whatever lane you are in, it's the same thing, different vehicle, right? So for us, we like the XLs. That's the kind of dogs that we geek out over. What does it really mean? It's basically what I'm trying to say is choose your path. For example, in the XL lane, bullies in general are a young breed. In terms of breed history, we're talking about 30 years versus more established breeds that have 100, 150 years, 200 years of history. So we're a very young breed in terms of the books, and we are excelling and growing rapidly, right? Because the breed is so impressive that it does bring a lot of fanfare, and rightfully so. It is a beautiful dog with a great temperament. So choosing your path, well, a lot of these videos I create are an inspiration of what you guys ask me. So really, what does it mean? It's, you like, let's say, okay, we'll use the XL sample, right? Or example. There are XLs, people who breed for color, right? Whether they admit it or not. There are people who breed solely for size. They want the biggest, heaviest dogs, monstrous dogs. There are people who breed to the standard, the correctness of the standard, right? There are people who claim to breed for temperament. Neither one of those lanes are wrong or right, to be honest with you. So if I were to use myself as an example, for me, number one is structure of the dog. The dog has to exhibit the breed type to the best capacity that it can, right? And so, what is the breed type? That's that bully look, that muscle. If you ever seen a standard or a classic or an extreme, they're very impressive, and that's what I want an XL to be. So in my vision, I want an XL to be a bigger version of that, and that's what I mean by choosing your path in your lane, right? So if you have an idea of what you want, your vision to be as a breeder, well, the first thing you do is you gotta find dogs that look like that. From there, once you find some dogs that are like, okay, I kind of like that, right? So for me, I guess let me clarify that. Let me rewind a little bit. Being in the breeding game or industry, I'm not content with what is out there, right? I'm inspired by what's out there. I like what's out there. But in my vision, I want to create my own art. A hyper type dog, wow factor dog, correct, muscled up, functional, with no health issues, great temperament, right? All these things, and they're all pieces of a puzzle of that perfect dog, right? It's the holy grail of breeding. You want to create that beautiful wow factor dog, females that look like males that look out of this world. Like when you walk by, you're like, what is that? Like you don't even know what it is. It's so impressive. It's that showstopper, that eye-catching, that, hey, whoa, pause for a minute. What just happened, right? So in my vision of Sumo Bully Kennels, that's the kind of dog I'm going to create. What does that entail? That entails me finding a look I like, having a starting point, a base, a foundation of how I'm going to create what I want, right? The game was there before me, and it'll be there after me. However, the Sumo Bully Kennels vision that I have is to make my impact for my vision I want. And look, it's not for everybody. Some people love it. I'm like, oh, this guy's nuts, man. He's creating some great stuff. Other people are like, it's not my thing. And it's neither wrong or right. So back to you now, not me. It's understanding that, finding that dog, researching the pedigree, right? Connect with a breeder who has the kind of dogs you like and the pedigrees you like, and connecting with them so that you can get your ingredients to bake your own cake and create your own vision of what a bully is. Because otherwise, you're just recreating whatever else is recreating. So here, let me pull this down, and I'll tell you exactly what I'm trying to say, right? So here, go to our homepage. Who is Sumo Bully Kennels? Well, we're a family-owned kennel. That's the truth. We're devoted to producing world-class American XL bullies specializing in best bloodlines from the USA and Brazil. Because I love the Brazil dogs, and I love the US dogs. Now, if I can bring those two together and add my sauce to it and create that dog of my vision, that's my goal. That's why I'm into this. Understanding what I'm into it for. So let me pull this picture back up for now. So anyhow, it's knowing your identity in the space, guys, is very, very important, right? Otherwise, you're gonna go down a rabbit hole, be looking at dogs every night, geeking out over pedigrees, and figuring out which one you want. That happens to a lot of people, including myself. But then I had to put it on pause and be like, well, what do I want? Why am I here, right? And what do I want? Okay, in order to get what I want, how can I create what I want, right? I can create what I want by working with what's pre-existing. So that's what I'm trying to say with that. So, okay, next thing. So let me pull this one down. Working off of that, guys, let's talk about branding, right? You can't avoid it. If you are in this lane and have been thinking about this, there's a bunch of different camps out there, brands out there. And I'm not going to name any because that's not what our platform is about. I'm not trying to hype nobody. nor am I trying to punch down on anybody. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to help you. I'm here to share my experience, have a authentic connection with everybody that follows our channel. So let's use Nike as an example because it's an international brand and everyone knows it, right? So if you get into this game and you want to make a Nike, right? Because everyone likes Nike and everyone buys Nike. I got news for you. You can't out Nike, right? Nike is a brand. They're going to continue to innovate and be them. Now, you could be a distributor of Nike, right? So think about what I'm telling you right now. You can be a distributor of Nike. You can maybe collaborate with Nike, which as a big brand, they're probably not going to work with you. And this is what I'm trying to say. You can't out Nike because Nike is Nike and you are who? No one knows you yet, right? So all these things here with branding. What is branding? Advertising, marketing, trust, identity, value, design, logo, strategy, right? That's what makes you you. And so branding your kennel has to start with a vision. Why are you here, right? Why did you get into it? If you're just that, you know what? I'm a money guy, I want to make money. But listen, I'm a hustler, right? Let's just say. Cool. Then open a store, sell Nike, Reebok, and Adidas. The main brands that, everyone follows. That's a business plan, right? That's a position in the marketplace. This is why I'm saying knowing who you are. If that's who you want to be and you don't want to go deeper than that, then cool, open a store and sell all the major brands. I see nothing wrong with that at all. Because that's your passion and that's what you want to chase and that's how you want to chase it. Who am I to, knock that? If that's the only reason you're in this space for, well then do that. And you know what? Still following my advice with budgeting and everything else. Understanding, your cost of admission and your holding cost so that you can be happy and successful in being that person in the marketplace, right? So anyways, I'll jump off branding, right? I'll leave this up. Why not? Or you know what? You guys like pictures of dogs. I'll throw up a picture of a dog. Because that's what, when I throw boring conversations like this, no one wants to listen to it. So, okay, next. Identify and define yourself, right? Like, who are you in the marketplace? You're a startup, great. Do you have a vision? Maybe, maybe not. Are you that guy that wants to sell everyone else's brand? Then be that guy, cool. Or do you want to create your own brand, right? Your own bloodline. Understanding who you are in the marketplace is going to determine your budget and how many years it's going to take you to get there. That's all I'm trying to establish, guys. So you're trying to create a bloodline, how many generations? 2, 3, 4, 5 generations, right? How long does that take? 4, 5, 6 years. So you got to have short-term goals to achieve your goal. And you also got to have long-term goals, right? This is everything I mean by it. It's a lot of to digest in the thought process. If you're in the space, my question for you is, who are you, right? Only you can answer that. I can't answer that for you. Like, are you that guy, right? So are you that guy that's first to practice, last to leave, puts in that extra work, right? Like, we're going from Nike to athletics now, right? Let's say you're in a football team or basketball team. Who are you? Are you that guy that puts in 2 hours of work before practice or after practice and then practices with a team, right? You ever watch those documentaries on like Jordan or Kobe? The work that no one saw them put in outside of the regular team practice is why they were champions. Now, depending on your age, your life goals, your family situation, where you are with things, you might not be able to, you might not be, say to yourself, be like, you know what, I'm not willing to give that. Cool, then be a role player, right? Everyone has a position in everything, How you do anything is how you do everything. And this is what I mean by having your identity in your brand. For myself, Could I have gotten to this and opened up a store and sold everyone's brand? Absolutely. And I would have been fine doing it. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, because I love the dogs anyway. But don't get it mistaken. This is a business. So there's a part of me that loves the dogs, and there's also the part of me that understands, like, I can't keep taking L's, right? Because as the head coach of my kennel, I'm going to get fired. In fact, my whole team's going to get traded away. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's all relevant, guys. As a player on your team, right? You're the coach of your team. You're the head coach or the owner or whatever. You got to know what your talents are. Know your skill set. Also identify what you're not good at, right? Because the most, here, I'm going to say this twice, right? The most important part of your yard, right, is what's right in between these two ears, right here. I'll say it again. That's the most important part of your yard. Because whatever creativity lies in here manifests into reality. Edison with a light bulb, right? If he didn't think, he failed like over 1,000 times before he got the light bulb. If he didn't dream that, we wouldn't have a light bulb. Henry Ford, 8-cylinder vehicle. He didn't take no for an answer, right? So a guy like Henry Ford says, no, I need an 8-cylinder vehicle. Anyone says, you're crazy. Well, guess what? If he didn't push the agenda, we would not have a V8. So you got to understand who you are, what your skills are. If you're not a quarterback, well, then put a quarterback on your team. If you're not a running back, right? You're a lineman, be a lineman. But at least be smart enough to know, like, you need a quarterback and a running back. That's what I'm saying by, like, understanding who you are, know your talents, you know, and know what you're not good at. Because you can get help. You can reach out to people, right? Maybe you don't know how to write a business plan. You pay that out. Maybe, but you're a killer with dogs, right? You know how to train them, feed them, breed them, whelp them, right? Like for me, I'm not a good, I couldn't stack a dog to save my life. But I'm learning. Does that mean I'm going to be very good at it? Probably not, to be honest. I've seen some people that are just amazing positioning dogs, and I am in awe and I am a fan of it because it's something I find very difficult. Like, I know how to make a dog follow me. I know how to, you know, like train a dog for basic commands and things like that. For the life of me, I can't get a dog to pose. And I'm not a good picture taker either. So, you know, knowing what you're good at and what you're not good at is, you know, one of those key steps. So for me, yeah, I need to connect with somebody that can really stack my dogs and take great pictures, right? I need to value that person and pay them because that's not what I'm good at, you know? So anyhow, we'll move on. I don't want to harp on that. So here we go. Hopefully you digested that first 2-3 parts of this episode. Once you identify and define, now you can align. Crazy. What does that mean? Okay, I'm gonna drink that. Identify the type of breeder you want to buy from. Right? It's important. I've dealt with different multitude of breeders that I bought from, and for me, I know how to maneuver, so it's okay. But for everyone, it's not. So, you know, for example, in alignment, right? Are you the type of person that's super on time, and then you tell your breeder to meet you and he's 2 hours late? That doesn't, I'll see, it's a value system, right? Your value system has to align with the people that you work with. I'll let that one sink in. Because a person that I consider being 10 minutes early on time. I know people who are 30 minutes late is on time. Our value systems don't align, right? One person thinks it's acceptable and will be mad if I keep texting them like, where are you? Meanwhile, I'm mad that you're not here because I was here 10 minutes ago to respect you, right? The value system um, establishes a point of respect. And just because that person's not on my value system doesn't mean they're incorrect. I just need to align myself with people who are similar in my value system so that I'm not pissed off and aggravated. And where does that come in? That comes in when you do a co-ownership, right? You do a co-own. Let's say, like for me, I only feed raw, right? What do you think happens if me and you co-own a dog and you only feed kibble? First of all, it wouldn't happen because I would have asked you that before we even got into this co-own partnership. If your dog stays in a crate 23 hours a day and it eats kibble, guess what? Me and you are not co-owning. That's not in line with my value system, right? Now, for you, if that's okay, man, knock yourself out. Find somebody who'll do that, because that's not me. So this is very important, guys. Breeding collaboration, right? Say you have a male or a female, whatever the case may be, and you want to work with me, right, and make something happen, right, because it should be mutually beneficial. I set boundaries. I need to understand where everything is, because I'm not going to let you aggravate or stress me out, but at the same token, I'm going to give you the same courtesy, and I need to know what's important to you and how you operate so that I don't stress you out or aggravate you. See what I mean? Now you're understanding when I say identify, define, and align. Okay, business relationships, same thing. So let's say you come to me and say, hey man, I like that boy you got, you know what? I don't want to do a stud fee, I don't want to do a pup back, but let's kind of like do a revenue split on the litter. Cool. There's many ways you can maneuver, right? And as long as you're ethical and you stand on who you are, and that person accepts that, fine. And then on your end, you also have to stand on who you are and accept the other person. And that's where we find common ground. What's my best example for that? Okay. So if in 1 hour I can, I don't know, fill up a 5-gallon bucket by myself, and then for 1 hour you can fill up a 5-gallon bucket by yourself, right? And then you tell me let's partner up, right? And then say, okay, we're going to work together, right? Together, when we look at our output, we only filled up 10 gallons, which is the same as we would have done if we were doing it by ourselves. To me, that's no good. Then why would I have partnered up with you if we're going to do the same thing, whether together or apart? I'd rather do it myself. At least I don't have to deal with your schedule, right? What I'm saying to you is that if me and you partner and I can fill up a 5-gallon bucket by myself in 1 hour and you can do the same, together we should be able to at least fill up 12 to 15 gallons together in the same hour. Now that there is an exponential increase, a 20 to 50 to 100% increase in our production together using what we do. So if I can run and catch and you can throw, well then we can win. But we can't both be quarterbacks. You see what I'm saying? If we're both quarterbacks, well, who's going to run and catch it? Now we're arguing about who's going to throw the ball. See what I mean? Identify, define, align. So if I'm a quarterback, well, I'm not trying to align with another quarterback. We're going to bump heads. If I'm a quarterback, I'm going to align with a wide receiver or a good running back or somebody that's going to complement my skill set, and we could do more together versus the same or less. Same thing in dog transport, right? You're a dog transport guy. You know, you got to sell your puppies and transport them. The service of that dog transporting is a service, and there's other people that do it. You got to do business with people who align with your value system. So if this person is like, tells you they're going to pick up this dog today, and they don't come for 3 days, and they don't even call or text you, you're going to be mad. Your customer on the other end is going to be mad, causing you stress, delaying your money. Again, identify, define, and align. Do work with people who operate the way you do or understand how you operate. Same thing with vets. It's the same thing with anybody. Who are you going to work with in this industry? You're going to work with vets, repro vets, breeders, buyers, transporters, right? Once you know who you are, you can then determine who you want to work with. It doesn't go the other way around. You cannot adapt to every other person who's out there that you need. Otherwise, what are you then? You're a punching bag and you're going to be mad. No, understand who you are in the space. Then you can figure out who you want to work with and who you don't want to work with. And that's as honest of a truth as I can give you. So, in summary, guys, knowing who you are, more likely than not, however you conduct yourself in this space will attract the same energy. When the roles are reversed and you are the seller, give that person the same energy, value, and respect that you would have wanted as a buyer, right? The law of attraction is immutable. You attract what you are, bottom line. Simply put, you probably wouldn't be hanging out at a cigar lounge and bar if you don't smoke cigars or drink, right? What are you doing there? You're just gonna annoy yourself with, rambunctious order and, people who are getting intoxicated. So I guess that's me simplifying things. I know this episode, last episode, I know some of you guys were bored, some of you guys loved it. But the reality is, this part, like I could have done an episode on starting with a male, and just typed out some numbers for you, which I will do anyway after this one. But I can't even stress to you how important this episode is in a mindset. Your mindset. A year from now, 6 months from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, you're going to realize, like, man, now I see, right? Because for me, it's simple. You can earn revenue and make a living doing anything. I want to do it the cleanest way I can with the least amount of stress, right? There's already enough stress out there every day. You drive, people almost hit you. People lay the horn on you. Want to get crazy and road rage. Nah, I want no part of that. So if you want to be more productive and less stressful, this is it. Know your identity in the space. Define. Once you identify, define, and align, then it's easier to win. Because you can't have a team of 5 quarterbacks. Sorry. You need a line, you need a wide out, you need a running back, you need a head coach. Every piece is necessary. Know what you are in this puzzle, and know how to bring in the pieces that you need, right? So with that said, guys, I want to thank everyone once again. Gosh, man, I appreciate the love out there. We're hitting our numbers in terms of subscription and watch hours. So I want to be humble and grateful for you guys who watch our channel. Thank you very much. I promise to bring you more quality content. Tap in, like, subscribe. Peace.